what we have now, hopefully, as this, writing process continues, we've done the research, we've picked that common topic, that interesting topic, and we've done the research. And as we've researched and as we found these 4 sources, we've located several things, one aspect of that thing, that topic that we find interesting. And we are going to focus on that topic and provide our audience with information on that specific topic, that specific aspect of that topic. Okay, what I'm talking about is if our topic was dogs. I mean, you can go out there and you can write the history of the domestication of dogs. You can write, oh goodness, dogs as service animals, or you can write dogs, the effect of having pets, and specifically dogs, on the mental health of the owners and how levels of oxytocin are lowered when there's a pet in the house. So those are 3 very different aspects. They're all focused on dogs, but 3 very different aspects of dogs. Don't try and cover all of them. Pick one and focus on that, okay? So no matter your topic, pick that specific aspect. And here are the details. It's only going to be 800 words. That's not very long. Due in a couple weeks. It's going to have that introduction. It's going to have that synthesis of information that you've gathered from your sources. You are going to be the main voice here. Your voice is going to, write the thesis. Your voice is going to open up each paragraph and with a main point, a topic sentence, and then you're going to use the sources to support that point. Your voice needs to be prominent. You need to have the first word and the last word on this, okay? And then the conclusion. Look over this. I've also provided a student example of someone who gave me permission to share their essay, and I have a little bit of annotation here. Don't worry about these swales, first move, second move, third word move. We didn't have time to cover that in a semester, and so don't even worry about that. But look at the introduction. Look at what kind of thesis they provide, what kind of information they provide first, that history and background and definition to get their audience up to speed, and then the focus on the new aspect. And I think hers is on nightmares, right? And then the conclusion. So study this, read it as a fellow writer. Okay, look at the moves that this student made and like, okay, if this is a successful essay, how can I use these same moves? Not the same content, obviously, but the same moves in my own writing. That's kind of a genre study. And it's really, really helpful. The next thing we are going to be doing this week is we're going to focus on the elements of this essay. So a good essay has a very strong introduction, a very strong conclusion. A lot of people just stop writing. They forget that conclusion. You need to wrap it up and kind of give your audience a so what. So what I'm asking you to do is read over these 2 handouts. They're fantastic handouts. I would highly recommend you downloading them and keeping them for future writing projects. But they're all about writing introductions, and there's another one on writing conclusions. And then I just want you to post just a short 150-word post on the key points, the things that you found surprising in these, the things that you want to remember when writing your own introduction and conclusion. And then I'm going to ask you to respond to 2 peers' posts. Okay, so you're going to have 3 posts, at least 3 posts total. And you will have to post before you can read anybody else's post, so don't wait on somebody else to start the discussion going. And that's going to be this week. And then the last thing that we're going to be focusing on is how to incorporate those sources. I think a lot of times, from what I've heard in like middle school and high school, some students have had teachers and instructors who have given them quote quotas. And it's like, okay, you have to have 5 quotes in this. You have to have 10 quotes in this. And so people are really quote happy. And we need to kind of shake out of that habit, that frame of mind. Quoting is one aspect of bringing in information, but if you quote an author, that quote, every aspect of the quoted material has to be quote worthy. If you can paraphrase something, if you can put it in your own words while still citing the author or the source, that is much more powerful, and that weaves that content much more completely into your writing than if you were continually bringing in quotes. A quote, in the first place, should not include more than a sentence at a time. Very, very rarely would it do that. Because if you include a lot of quotes, the reader's going to be jumping from your style or your voice to somebody else's, to yours to somebody else, and it's going to feel disconnected. So read over this, read over, paraphrasing the information on summary, paraphrasing how to quote effectively. And then at the bottom, there's another page. There's this fantastic video out of ASU where they talk about incorporating quotes with swag. Okay, look at that. Watch that video so you understand what's going to be required here. And here's an example of the step. Swag is like an acronym for different moves. And here's a great example of how to use swag and how to incorporate or quote meaningful passages from a statement. And then I'm going to ask you to apply what you've learned there into a quote that you want to incorporate into your essay. Okay, and so this is obviously something that you can write and move right over into your essay. Okay, and you're going to practice that there. And also, by the way, you can use anything from your annotated bibliography in your essay also. That's your writing. Take, you know, whatever from the introduction, from the actual summaries of some of the sources. You can use all of that. Keep in mind, though, in the introduction, you don't want to just cut and paste because you're going to be introducing something very different, a whole different genre than what you introduced in an annotated bibliography. But you can use all that. So that is, let's see, I think that's all. Yeah, and then we get into week 8, and I will post something for that next Saturday. So that's everything. You let me know if you have any questions. Again, my office hours are Tuesday afternoons from 1 to 3. I can also meet on Zoom any other time if you have questions or want to run something by me. Okay, I'm more than happy to do that. All right, have a great week. Bye-bye.